Yo, what is going on, guys? Surge Danger here, and welcome back to another video on Arrow Season 8. Now, although we don't have much news on when Arrow will start filming their final season or things like that, we do have rumored characters to return. Coming from an interview, the showrunner, Beth Schwartz, made herself with TV Line. But before I do that, though, I will go over the synopsis released for Arrow Season 8 just because it does link to the video I'm about to do, and it is really interesting. After a violent shipwreck, billionaire playboy Oliver Queen, the actor who plays Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, was missing and presumed dead for 5 years before being discovered alive on a remote island in the North China Sea. He returned home to Star City, bent on righting the wrongs done by his family and fighting injustice. As the Green Arrow, Oliver successfully saved his city with the help of his team, including former soldier John Diggle, David Ramsey, computer science expert Felicity Smoke, Emily Bett Rickards, former protege Roy Harper, Colton Haynes, street savvy Renee Ramirez, Rick Gonzalez, metahuman Dinah Drake, Juliana Harkavy, brilliant inventor Curtis Holt, Echo Kellum, and Earth 2 Laurel Lance, Katie Cassidy. In the wake of discovering what his future holds, Oliver will find himself pit against the most challenging battle yet, one that will leave the multiverse hanging in the balance. In Arrow's final season, Oliver Queen is forced to confront the reality of what it means to be a hero. Now, this is really intriguing to find out that Oliver will be becoming more of a hero than he ever was. And seeing that build up from season 4 onwards, it worked really well. And knowing that Oliver would be meeting his end in Crisis on Infinite Earths, it will still be Oliver's toughest challenge he's going to face. Now, Beth Schwartz, the showrunner for Arrow, had hinted to some returning characters for these last 10 episodes, and in a recent interview with TV Line. After 7 seasons and over 150 episodes, Arrow's swan song will begin later this year, and it sounds like there's a lot of ground it could cover. In a recent interview with TV Line, Arrow showrunner Beth Schwartz addressed the upcoming final season and whether or not certain characters will return as part of that. There are so many characters to consider, so many characters, Schwartz explained, and we're definitely thinking of all of that because just as much as our fans want to see it, as people who have been on the show for a long time, we are also fans of these characters. So, we're going to make sure that everyone has a great final season. At this point, Arrow's last episodes already have a lot riding on them, especially now that Oliver Queen, Stephen Amell, is aware of his impending demise in this winter's Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. Even with all of the setup to Crisis, there are some interesting characters that could still re-enter the fray. From THEA Queen, Willa Holland, to Nissa Al Ghul as Katrina Law, to Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, Manu Bennett. So yeah, I would honestly love those characters hitting our screens for the last time, especially seeing what happened to Nissa and THEA, saying that 2 seasons ago both of them left with Roy to hunt down the Lazarus pits across the world, and in that Thanatos Guild episode, and we've never had those characters returning apart from Roy, who has appeared in most of the episodes in season 7, whether it's the flash forwards or the present day storyline. We've seen Thea only return in season 7 for the 150th episode, and that doesn't really count because it was just like a documentary episode, nothing that interesting. And we saw Nissa return for the All Flash Forwards episode only. So seeing Thea and Nissa return would be really exciting, and so we can see how these characters develop throughout those 2 years. As we found out that something we've never been expecting before, that Roy died and got bloodlust while getting resurrected from the Lazarus pit. So, what things could have happened to those characters? Also, I've told you guys like 1,000 times, Slade Wilson is like one of the characters that I want to see in Arrow season 8. Like Slade was one of my favorite characters in the entire show, and Manu Bennett just kills it every time he plays Slade Wilson. And especially those season 6 episodes when Slade and Oliver started working together since the season 5 finale. They were like good moments to the show. Um, I just want to see like Oliver and Slade working together for the last time, or maybe Slade becoming full on Deathstroke somehow. While that might sound like a lot of plot for an average television season, Schwartz revealed that she's excited for the challenge, and she says, "That's the exciting part of next season, only having 10 episodes." Schwartz revealed, "We've been brainstorming and thinking about who we want back because there are so many characters that we love. I think every episode is just going to be humongous. We're going to fit it all in, and it's definitely going to be an amazing season." So, hearing what Beth Schwartz is saying, and that every episode is going to be humongous, it seems like Oliver and the Monitor will be working together. And due to this, I believe that LaMonica Garrett, the actor who plays Mar Novu, aka the Monitor, should at least be promoted to a series regular for this season. Because like if he and Oliver are working together, there isn't really a reason why the Monitor shouldn't be in almost every episode of the season. And yeah, there isn't really a reason why he shouldn't be a series regular. And speaking of Crisis, this does bring me closer of the theory that Oliver doing what the Harbinger does in the comics, where Oliver will be recruiting heroes by traveling the multiverse, and possibly being the leader of the Arrowverse Justice League if that's created. And I hope it is created in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And seeing Oliver interact with those returning characters, it is really intriguing. Saying what Beth Schwartz is saying, it does look like it's gonna be one hell of a season. So yeah, I just cannot wait for this final season. And yeah, it is my favorite show throughout the Arrowverse, and we could get more news on what's to come in San Diego Comic Con. But for now, seeing what Beth Schwartz is saying, this season will be phenomenal and unforgettable. I hope this is the case, and I do hope like season 8 will be its best season. For me, currently, season 5 is still the best season. Yeah, that's all I have time for today, guys. So if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.